All right, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon replay cast. Today it is another 4chan 3v3 tournament game. It is game number 2 between our two teams here. It is round number 2 in the tournament as well, which means these teams will have to do a best of 3 between each other to move on in the tournament. The first part of the tournament was just pretty much single elimination. And so on the left side of the map, our blue team is Team Filthy Casuals that consists of Fuzzball, Lord Walker, and M-Bets. And on the right side of the map, we have Team Stream Snipers that consists of Dirty D, Razman, and WTF Random. And the name is actually longer than just WTF Random, but I'm just going with WTF Random. And our first game, if you did not watch the first game, it was a very nice game, and there was a couple really fun dogfights to watch at the end of the game. That was really, I really enjoyed those. So check that out. And here we go with game number 2. We're going to speed this up to the 10x mark till everything comes out. Everybody gathering their positions here. We'll see where, which side. Looks like Fuzzball is going to be going in the middle here. WTF Random looks like he's going to be going on the left side of the map or the right side of the map, depending on your perspective there, or bottom side of the map, even that. So we'll see where all these players decide to go in a moment. And which side do I like better? Do I like looking at it from this? Or do I like it from this? I think I like it from this side a little bit better. Could do center as well. That's oh, so many options. And now we'll see what these players decide to do. Fuzzball definitely going middle, I believe, because he pointed that out. And I think he's over here, perhaps. No, Fuzzball looks like he's going actually the right side. But he's going to try and get into the middle from the right side, I believe. And we have M-Bet definitely going to the center here, the left side of the center. And Lord Walker taking the left side of the map. Meanwhile, our red team, 30D, taking the right side of the map. Center is WTF Random. And also we have Razman also going to the center as well. They're just going to spread out a little bit. WTF Random sending some stuff to Hotel as well. Nobody ever really goes to Hotel too much. It's way too open. So you just pretty much just sort of try to hold it between each other. And so we'll see how this game plays out. Lots of anti-air. Centurion Marksman, Chaparral is also moving in there. Those are between two players, of course, Lord Walker, and these Centurion Marksmen are going to the left side, but plenty of anti-air for our blue team. I also have an HA Heavy Armor also moving up as well. And some short arrow, closed arrows and short arrows all up here. And Humvee here, going to be moving forward. Looks like Esma is inside those Humvees there. And the Luke's maybe a little bit too far. No, not quite far enough. And so the battle begins here. M1IP here was winding up a shot to take out those Lukes, but finished them off. And now a big push. Unbelievable amount of troops here. Razman pushing through. And what does he have there? It looks like just Jaegers all in those cheap A13Gs. So he's just pounding out troops. This is an unbelievable amount of Jaegers he's about to pump out. Although, I guess they're not stacked, so it's not the most insane amount of troops. Leopard 2A1's pushing forward. 285 also in there as well. The Super Heavy in the back with 22 frontal armor. The IP already finished off. 2 AGS, however, firing away. And oh, the good old AGS, however, going to get hit there by Milans from way across the map. I think those were the Milans hitting it. That was really far. That must have been absolutely max range. HA, the only thing left here, and I don't think that is going to be enough. The 2A1 and the 2A5 are definitely going to be able to take it out. Longbow, I think that was a longbow that finished it off there. Jaguar moving overhead, and Chaparral may finish that off. And they do have quite a bit of anti-air, but did not take out that Jaguar. Stunned. And the Mirage also not going to be finished off there. A bombing run goes off. Hits there. Does not take anything out, though. Everything was pretty much already out of that area. Now on the left side here, Narima 85s trying to push forward. AMX 1390s and Canadian Airborne holding fairly well for now. This is sort of an easy place to hold, in my opinion. It's very easy to just sort of spread out, and you got stuff down here, stuff across this line. Very fun side. I always like that side the best instead of the middle. Again, sort of a stalemate over here in Hotel, and the other side even really bothering to cap it right away. F1 flying overhead. And was it doing a bombing run? I think it was trying to, but didn't really get anything off, I don't think. Didn't really see it. Either way, 2A5 nearly destroyed Super Heavy with 1 bar of health left. Marushiki firing away at the 2A1. And it has to bail out of there as well. Only 20 armor on it, but only 1 bar of health. So both of the Super Heavies there, only 1 bar of health. F1 flying overhead again. Stunned. Did not get its shots off. And it was stunned, and now it needs to evac. It is flying over all kinds of noise. Yeah, and it gets destroyed. I figured that was coming very soon. And Freedom Fighter's now flying overhead. And I think I may be losing my voice. I was doing quite a bit of casting today. Casted the first game in this series, and also casted a Company Heroes 2 game earlier before that. So, quite a bit of casting. Jaegers pushed up into the line. So many Jaegers all over the place. Buntai 90, however, peppering up the town pretty well. But I don't know how long they're going to last. It looks like the red team is circling around them pretty quickly here. 2A1 firing away into the town. Those Buntai need to get back into this section of the town here, and they do. And left side of the map here, not too much happening, not really moving up. There's a Panther floating over the head. It only has 1 bar of health. These Bisons could maybe finish that Panther off. They just moved up there. And so many Bisons and Grizzlies just hanging around here. And can't really use them to push right now because what is up front is AMX 1390s, and I don't know if he can actually use his guns on those. They might not even be a valid target. And firing at the Rima 85s there. And I don't think the AMXs are even a valid target. I think they're too armored. But those Grizzlies and Bisons are going to try and take out the Rimas at the very least. We have an M182 Super Heavy Abrams moving on up to the area here. Going to try and regulate this situation, and they definitely need some heavy anti-tank capabilities to take that out. That's going to be very hard, particularly in this really heavy cover area. You can just easily move that Abrams right back into the cover there and have it disappear. Assault engineers trying to push into the line here and actually doing a lot of damage. All these Jaegers are sort of piled up, and those assault engineers lit the whole woods on fire there. So they're actually doing really well for the amount of assault engineers he brought in here. Only 10 he brought in. And they did quite a bit of work. Not going to get off another napalm by the looks of it. No, looks like they're too stunned, getting too jacked up, panicked, and unable to fire again. Hornet there. And an F1 flying overhead. And Jaeger's still going strong here. Only 5 left, it looks like, in these groups here. U.S. Marines in there as well. Going to push forward with those. And there's really not anything to stop them. Just a chaparral over here. And SMOS, so they're going to push right ahead. They can actually just push right across this open ground. And there's really nothing that can stop them. Marushiki over here could actually come out and fire on them. But it looks like he is busy right now with these A1Gs. And only has 1 bar of health as well. So it pretty much sneezes and that thing will explode. SMOS there firing away. And takes out that Fuchs. I think that was a Fuchs by the looks of it. A Gazelle now moving across here. And going to move up and try and see what's going on with a recon helicopter. And I think it's going to be safe. There really isn't much to stop that. There's a Javelin over here. But as long as he keeps that a good ways away, he'll be able to see everything that's going on. F1 there fires away into the line, hits those riflemen, and that wasn't the most effective. And so many Jaegers pushing across here. U.S. Marines taking the brunt of the battle there. 2 AGS, and this is a pretty perfect kind of deal here. He doesn't have anything up here, so he sort of brought these AGS, and these AGS will do a lot of work. They're taking out squad after squad here. Good old AGS. Sort of have mixed feelings about the AGS. I love the AGS, and then at the same time I hate the AGS because it's made of paper. It's just so awesome. Its accuracy and its AP power for its cost are just so good. But again, if you take a hit of any kind, it's completely falls apart into a smoldering ball of fire there. Marushikis here, all damaged. So many Marushikis, two Marushikis rather, and both of them heavily damaged. One with 2 bars of health, one with just 1, and you're going to need a little bit more cargo than 1,000 to fix up both of those Shikis, more than likely. ADATs here. Moving across, and it's going to be an open territory. Hornet here launching, and hits that Abrams. Did hit that A2, and hit it hard for sure. Only 4 bars of health left. And is that the A2 that was brought over from over here, I believe? I don't see the A2 over here, so it looks like he brought it all the way around. A2 did back up into the woods, though, so should be safe for a little while. Needed a Hemet, and there comes a Hemet now, and that is WTF's Hemet, so he will probably be bringing that to that A2. And 2A5 finishes off both of those M8 AGS there. So 2 super heavies right up front here. Both of them 22 frontal armor, so like an insane amount of armor right here. Dual super heavies. And very, very similar stats as well. Pretty much the same tank. Shiki C and a Shiki G moving on up through the lines here, and that Maro Shiki, those need repaired badly, and they're really nice tanks. 170 cost. Can't really afford to lose those, so I would like to see more cargo. At least take these cargo back and take them back to the fob there, and additional cargo now being brought up there by Fuzzball. These cargo need to just move back and go all the way back to the fob and resupply those at the very least. M1 IP being brought up, but this is not going to do the trick. The IP will be inefficient at its max range against the Leopard in the A2, so the IP is just not going to do the trick. He's going to have to get in pretty close range, probably maybe 1,800 or less meters than that. It will not be able to fire at max range at the 2A5, and no, it's firing at the Fallschirmjägers yet. And it could probably hit it if the Leopard was turned to the side or to the rear, but to the frontal armor, the IP just isn't enough. And now Jupiter being brought in to repair up. That Hemet stopped early to get more missiles on that Patriot there. And also resupplying those Jupiters inadvertently as well. Super Etentard flying overhead here. Leopard C1 moving forward, and it's out in the open. Dirty D spots something there. +1 advantage for team's snipers. Got caught up on myself a little bit there. F-117 Nighthawk flying overhead. What is it going to destroy? Super Etentard here flying overhead and trying to go after these toes by the looks of it. And this is a pretty good idea, bringing out these toe missiles to try and deal with those super heavies there. And they do 25 AP power, which is very significant. Unfortunately, toes, if they get in range of the toe before the toe hits it, they can just kill the toe. Oh, F-17 Nighthawk in a little bit of trouble there. Got hit by multiple Centurion marksmen. It was really lucky it didn't get destroyed. Now the toe is firing away at that 2A5. 2A5 going to take big hits here. 1, 2, 3. All 3 hits. And I can't believe it ate all 3 of those. It ate them good. And it's down to 2 bars of health. I cannot believe that survived that. They're going to fire again, but it's already in the woods. Those toes are just going to whoosh off into the abyss. And going to bring back those toes a little bit. And could definitely use a Hemet or a cargo, that too, to deal with that. Here comes some AP and toes getting out of there. The Mars nearly hit all 3 of those toes there. Cougar Recon's being brought up. And an explosion there. 2A5, another 2A5, so 3 super heavies now up front in the action here. Very, very similar in takes indeed. The M1A2 does a little bit more damage, costs a little bit more, also has the M240 on it, whereas the Leopard 2A5 only has a 7.62, and the Abrams also has a 50 cal, so a 50 cal and a 7.62. Maru Shiki's being brought forward here, and they're already damaged. They just need to be brought back already. Did pretty good damage, that 2A5 there. Actually hit it 2 or 3 times. No, down to 2 bars of health, and I'm not sure there is enough supply here to repair all of this. Well, there just might be. Since that 2A5 is the only one that needs repaired now, but I thought the other 2A5 was also low, and it would definitely not have been enough, or at least not have brought them all to full health. OH1 Ninja all the way out here, and a Panther all spotting each other, just sort of at the DMZ there, just mutually not moving forward. A short arrow gets taken out there, and I'm going to fly away scot-free. M1A2 Abrams has been brought up here to the line. It's not in a very good spot, though. It's sort of blocked by the wood line there. Recon taken out there. M1A2 needs to be brought up a little bit more. The IP here is not so useful. Unfortunately, the IP, a lot of times, if you do not have the AP power to penetrate at long range, as your projectiles lose penetration power at long range, naturally, the IP will not be able to even fire at those A2s and Leopard 2A5s. And I would be surprised if it did at max range. And it would probably be because the A2 is either turned to the side or facing the rear. Shiki destroyed. Longbow just going to town here. Now the A2 is in trouble, backing up that A2. And can he get out of there? And I don't think so. No, loses that A2. That's a big loss indeed. +2 for our red team now. And Bradley IFV is being brought forward. Chaparral as well. Some base, 4 Bison 81 mils being brought up as well to mortar away on that wood line by the looks of it. Fearing's group all the way in the back corner of those woods. And it's pretty obvious where that CV is, as there's not too many places you can really put a CV there in Lima. And here they go, firing away. Looks like it's going to hit the Flak Panzer in the back. And not going to do too much there. Taking a little bit of damage, And we'll take a little bit more than that. Prowler flying overhead, looking for some trouble, but I don't know if he's going to find it. Centurion marksmans are off. Don't really see right away any more radar, so don't think it's going to happen. Prowler just having a good time, doing some victory circles. Mortars firing away, and now hitting the 2A5. And did a little bar damage there, and we'll eventually take it out, but we'll take a while. Tornado IDS flying overhead here, dropping. And is it going to hit anything? It looks like it hit that Chaparral. And no, hits just in front of it there. So it's sort of lucked out with the Bradley IFVs and the Chaparrals if they were to head it out a little bit longer than that. F-16 Interceptor here, trying to fly around and get something, but it doesn't look that way. Getting shot at by the Patriot there. Needs to evac out of there. And a little bit too far for the Patriot to fire now. Fuchs moving across the way here. And the IP here looks like he's going to take care of these. And the assault engineers are up front there, so they'll be able to napalm that and take it out. It gets finished off there before that happens. Looks like he's trying to hit a CV. He's hitting right here. However, the CV obviously right there, as we can see, but he certainly can't see that, so he's trying his best to hit whatever he can. And did do quite a bit of damage here to these various vehicles. However, there are Jupiters there that can just simply repair them up, but they're panicked right now, so not repairing really. WTF has called for an attack on that M1 IP. And looks like that might be the case. F-15J going after the Nighthawk there and takes out the Nighthawk. And it will fall into a burning wreck. Let's see if it actually hits anything, lands on anything. Is it going to land? Oh, almost landed on these Buntai 90s. That would have been interesting. That's always fun to watch. F-45 Phantom flying overhead here, going to be dropping. And where are they going to land? And looks like it's going to land right in the middle of all this. And scorch up these riflemen pretty bad. And, oh, they actually kind of got lucky there. Look at that little, look how lucky that is. That's when you that's when you become religious. You just say, screw it. I'm becoming religious when I get out of the army because I survived something I should not have survived. I was almost burned to death. Or become a foreign legion or something. Changes your life when you survive something like that. Maru Shiki, oh, gonna hit directly here and loses that Shiki there. And Mars going to hit these Bisons. Oh, no. These Bisons are right in the way. And looks like they will get out of there, though. Looks like a slight miss on the part of the Mars there. Needed to hit a little bit further. And they will hit the area there. Perhaps the creeping barrage might go a little bit forward. And they might have got hit. But it wasn't too hard for them to move out of the way. +3 advantage for our red team. Still firing away. Now, smoke being dropped here. And it looks like these Grizzlies are going to be trying to push into that wood line. However, as long as he just pushes these Leopards past that smoke line, he should be able to take out some of these Grizzlies before they do. And there isn't really much that's going to stop them or do any damage to them if they push past this smoke line. There's really nothing here. These Bradley IVs are all out of missiles. And we have the toes. Toes are moving up, though, however. And so he knows that he's going to try and push these tanks in front. And these toes are pushing forward here and trying to get them at max range because he knew that these were coming, and hit one there. And those Grizzlies, looks like the Highlanders took out one of those tanks, and I don't know which one it was. The A2 is no longer there, and the other two A5s, so it looks like those were taken out at some point. I didn't actually see. So those Highlanders now moving forward with those Erics. And a huge push from our red team. Panthers being brought in. The Celtic, or Celtic, however you prefer to say that. Leopard 2A4 is being brought forward here. And tons of troops being released all along this wood line here. And we'll be able to take out these Rangers and just totally cover this area. OH-1 Ninja here firing away at the Panthers. AH-1S also firing away. Stay close. Trying to hit these various APC being brought forward. And Fuhrung's group is in trouble and will be taken out eventually here by these Highlanders. And Leopard 2A5 all the way back here. So two 2A5s have been brought all the way back. So maybe those were those 2A5s. The one survivor and the other one was brought back a little earlier to repair as well with these Hemmets. So I believe he kept both the 2A5s. It looks like just the A2 was destroyed. I think. I didn't actually get to see it, but the A2 is no longer there, so I'm assuming it's destroyed. Leopard C2 is being brought in, 4 of them. And just a little pro tip, I guess. It's a little faster if you just make them a 4-stack. Like, if you're going to bring in 4 units like that, you'll see what happens. I'll show you what happens here. They're going to come in one at a time like this. They're going to come in 1, 2. It's going to take them forever like that. If you just put, if you just make them a 4-stack, they come in as a 4-stack, and then you just have to unstack them later. So I guess it creates a little bit more micro for yourself, if you want to call it that, I suppose, to unstack them later. But it does make your units come out faster. So just to let you guys know that. Although sometimes it is just a little bit more convenient to just place them like he did, like in 4 like that across the way, just so that you can place it and forget it kind of deal, and then just go on and continue microing your units elsewhere. But they do come out faster if you make them a stack. CH-135 being brought in. Looks like he's going to try and take Lima back, and +2 advantage, and it looks like it's a little bit too late. They're going to have to do something pretty extraordinary to win this, and especially considering the red team is really just haphazardly pushing forward now because they really don't have all that much to lose, and so he's just really just blasting forward as far as he can. Flaggerfouts being brought in here. F-15J nearly hit by those stingers, but looks like it pulled away just in time. It's going to fly right over him by the looks of it. Mirage dumping on these various vehicles, and looks like it completely missed them. That was also a very lucky on the Centurion Marksman in the toes part there. Toe firing away at some APCs that are being brought forward here. VABs, the subject of attack. F-45 Phantoms, both F-45 Phantoms dropping and trying to hit the CV. Almost hit the CV, and it ended just in time. But that was game number 2, so that was a best of 3 between these two teams. So Team Stream Snipers will move on in the tournament as the Filthy Casuals were beat 2 out of 3. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I'll see you guys next time.